Greetings, welcome back to Black Bear News, where we are discussing climate change, abrupt climate change, and things adjacent. April 15th is fast approaching. There's going to be some large-scale action by Extinction Rebellion. And I'm going to link a little video from Roger Hallam in the description box. You can check it out. He's kind of just talking about the action that's happening in London. But if you are subscribed or signed up to Extinction Rebellion in your area, you should be getting emails talking about what's going on close to you. I plan on being a part of the action in some way. I don't know what way that is yet. I'm in the middle of just juggling a lot of life stuff always. But my goal or my plan is to actually do some kind of on-the-spot reporting or documenting of the action that's in LA, so I can kind of amplify the message and amplify what's going on. Not a lot of people in the States know about Extinction Rebellion. I think it's very quiet, or maybe the powers that be are keeping it quiet. Who knows? Maybe anybody that talks about it is being squashed, as any of the links that I ever post on Facebook, and I'm assuming Twitter, get squashed pretty hard. Not a lot of people see those links, but I'll do my best. I think one of the best ways to get information out on social media is to live stream, if you can. For whatever reason, that seems to jump the algorithms a lot, and that seems to take precedence if you can live stream something and then have it reposted later, or in your timeline. Then people tend to be able to see it better. So I'm going to talk about a few things, or cover a few things. I had all kinds of things on my mind, and now I'm just completely blank. Yeah, I mean, Extinction Rebellion, I think it's about right action. We are not in a good place. As a species, we're not in a good place as a planet. And this is becoming more apparent all the time. And the more apparent it becomes, the more people try to hide inside of business as usual. Oh, where is the article that I really, really wanted to read or start this? I wanted to start this. No. Here it is. So sorry. Well, we know this. We hear this all the time. This is from a site called Return to Now, published on March 4th, 2019. Study: every animal pulled from the deepest trenches of the ocean had plastic in its gut. What do you think that might do to the long-term viability of every species on the planet to continue going forward? Probably not good things. Plastic is accumulating at the bottom of the sea and in the bellies of bottom feeders, and making its way all the way back up the food chain. Even creatures in the deepest parts of the ocean are eating plastic. In fact, the deeper you go, the worse it gets, a new study finds. And those little critters make it all the way back up the food chain. A team of researchers from England's Newcastle University sent vehicles into the sixth of the deepest trenches in the ocean to collect amphipods, tiny crustaceans related to crabs and shrimp. Of the 90 animals they collected, 72% had plastic fibers in their stomachs. In the deepest trench, all of the specimens had plastic in their guts. The 6.8 mile wide Mariana Trench is the lowest point in any ocean. It builds upon a growing body of evidence suggesting that The deep sea, by far the largest habitat on the planet, may very well be the largest reservoir of plastic waste on the planet. What you put in the trench stays in the trench, said lead author of the study and marine biologist Alan Jameson. So I'm going to link this below and move on to the next thing I wanted to cover. That also goes hand in hand with the fact that, glyphosate is being found in almost every food product that we buy at the stores. Not necessarily, possibly vegetables. But yes, basically, I don't know what the number is, high percentage in the 80 or 90% of foods tested in the store that you buy at the store has some traces or some elements of glyphosate, which is not good for the long-term viability of our species. This is from Live Science. Climate change drove some Neanderthals to cannibalism. 6 Neanderthals who lived in what is now France were eaten by their fellow Neanderthals some 100,000 years ago, according to gruesome evidence of the cannibalistic event discovered by scientists in a cave in the 1990s. Now researchers may have figured out why the Neanderthals, including 2 children, became victims of cannibalism: global warming. While prior studies have interpreted Neanderthal remains to find proof of cannibalistic behavior, this is the first study to offer clues as to what may have led Neanderthals to become cannibals. Scientists found that rapid shifts in local ecosystems as the planet warmed may have extinguished the animal species that Neanderthals ate, forcing them to look elsewhere to fill their bellies. The researchers examined a layer of sediment in a cave known as a Baumoala Guerci. I don't know how to pronounce that. Totally trashed it, I'm sure, in southeastern France. Their excavations in 1999 from another team of scientists had uncovered 120 Neanderthal bones from 6 individuals that showed signs of being cannibalized. And let's hope that cannibalism is not in our future. Moving on to a story from BBC News. Climate change warning from Antarctica's last forest. This is from April 3rd, 2019. Scramble across exposed rocks in the middle of Antarctica, and it's possible to find the mummified twigs of shrubs that grew on the continent some 3 to 5 million years ago. This plant material isn't much to look at, but scientists say it should serve as a warning to the world about where climate change could take us if carbon emissions go unchecked. The time period is an epoch geologists call the Pliocene. 2.6 to 5.3 million years ago, it was marked by temperatures that were significantly warmer than today, perhaps by 2 to 3 degrees globally. Only 2 to 3 degrees. These were conditions that permitted plant growth even in the middle of the white continent. Higher, too, were sea levels. It's uncertain by how much, but possibly in the region of 10 to 20 meters above the modern ocean surface. What's really significant, though, is that the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere was very similar to what it is today, at around 400 CO2 molecules for every million molecules of air. Indeed, the Pliocene was the last time in Earth history that the air carried this same concentration of greenhouse gas. And it tells you where we're heading if we don't get serious about addressing the climate problem, cautions Professor Martin Siegert from the Grantham Institute at Imperial College London. Temperatures may currently be lower than in the Pliocene, but that's only because there's a lag in the system. If you put your oven on at home and set it to 200 C, the temperature doesn't get to that level immediately. It takes a bit of time. And it's the same with Earth's climate. If you ratchet up the level of CO2 at 400 parts per million, it won't suddenly get to an equilibrium overnight. It will take maybe 300 years or something, or a couple decades. So the question to us is, what is the equilibrium state? What is Earth's climate going to look like with 400 parts per million, all things being settled? And we are not stopping putting carbon into the atmosphere. So many bets on reaching, the 500 mark in the not too distant future. Some places on Earth are much higher. Um, so Mauna Loa recently, their average was something like 410 or 412. So we've already passed the 400 mark. We're already well into creeping up towards 500. In some places on the U.S. Mainland, oftentimes the CO2 levels are 430, 450, 460, depending on where you're at. Does Jennifer Hines say it? Non-good? Non-good. And there was something else I wanted to study. I'm going to study this stuff. I'm on it. So this is from Venezuela. Choking life. The Venezuelan fishermen fighting to keep their livelihoods above water. The shoreline of Lake Maracaibo is clogged with oil. The black sludge clings to everything. Plant roots are caked in it. The pebbles in the sand are smothered in it. The boat holes are blackened with it. So Venezuela, full of oil that we want to go down there and take. They sustain themselves with their oil production, and the oil production is dirty and messy and completely sloppy, and it's killing the environment around them. It's everywhere. Oil is Venezuela's only real economic asset, but now it is choking life. As we head out on a small powerboat into the waters of the huge inlet, it's hard to believe that this is the center of the world's largest crude oil reserves. It's more like an oil graveyard in the Maracaibo Basin. There are broken and disused platforms and wells everywhere. There used to be more than 500 oil wells pumping oil to the surface around here, but now all I can see are broken structures laying like huge gravestones in the filthy water. There appears to be a constant stream of oil seeping out, contaminating the waters. The locals tell us about constant broken pipes and oil leaks. It's a metaphor for the crumbling economy in the country itself. The workers around here apparently used to be amongst the richest. Now the locals weep for the lake they once knew, which sustained a bountiful fishing industry and a booming oil economy. We have so many oil pipes which are broken, and we see every day the oil floating in the water. Alario Lujano tells us the lack of maintenance means even if everything suddenly came right tomorrow and someone with a big magic oil wand waved it over this region, it will take decades to turn around this environmental disaster. The catastrophe that is the Maracaibo Basin seems to be emblematic of what's happening throughout Venezuela's oil industry. And I'm going to link this below. Interestingly, also Jimmy Dore recently did a video about Extinction Rebellion. So good on him for covering Extinction Rebellion as well. Apparently there was a protest in the parliament, in the UK parliament, where some activists took off the bottom of their clothing and glued their hands to the railing and faced the parliament with their derrieres towards the parliament. And apparently they carried on business as usual, making jokes about the bums. I don't know if that's funny or not, or, just good old English humor or not, but whatever. Apparently they didn't seem to be too fazed by it. So yeah, if you search that, maybe I'll search that and link it below. Anyways, right action is needed. Right action is necessary, even if the prognosis is hopeless or very, very bad. Right action is the only thing to take. And who knows what the consequences might be by doing the right thing, right? We know what the consequences are of doing the wrong thing, and continuing to do the wrong thing will continue to bring those consequences, right? That's pretty logical, I hope. You start doing the right thing or doing better things, perhaps, possibly we might see a different outcome. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for your eyes, your ears, and your conscience. If you would like to support this channel, you can do so at the links below. You can follow me on Twitter at BlackBearNews1, the numeral 1, where I post these articles and these videos as well. If you want to share them on Twitter, that's fine. Please don't tag me in my videos on Facebook. It's just a different it's a different ecosystem for me. So I do a lot of business music stuff on Facebook, and a lot of my family follows me on Facebook. A lot of just normal ass people follow me on Facebook. So it's a little bit, it's a little too overwhelming, I think, for them. And so whatever. That's my only request. But if you want to retweet my videos on Twitter, that's totally fine, or post them anywhere else, or you can post them on Facebook. Just don't tag me. Post away. That's all. Yeah, that's all I have for you. Until next time, peace.